everyone, welcome back to the Alpha Primus channel. Today we are looking at Transformers Studio Series 86, More Than Meets the Eye Collection, Deluxe Class, Perceptor, along with Core Class, Ratbat and Ramhorn. So this is, I think this is our first part of the More Than Meets the Eye collection. Apologizes again for the cat. He might jump up at some point. I like this sort of like grey and, well, I'll almost say black and white, but it's not black and white, it's black and red, or grey and red artwork. I think it looks really, really cool. I don't know why Perceptor's smiling, but you know, hey, that's just the way it is. A nice, very well drawn, very nicely drawn portrait. Again, the smile, bit of a strange one because of the scene that this is from, but still, you know, okay. And here we have the back with the figure, well, all three figures there, and then alt modes, and of course that scene where he is being attacked. So Perceptor tells Blaster to radio for reinforcements during the Battle of Autobot City. That is probably one of my favourite scenes in the entire movie, is that whole battle, and of course Prime and Megatron and stuff like that. But you know, even Blaster in that's probably one of my favourite. You know, no way two can play, or cover your receptors, Perceptor. I love Blaster in that movie. I think he's pretty cool. Ah, there we are. Here we go. The star of the show. Forget about Perceptor. We have Simba. Anyway, lovely artwork. And yeah, there's not much else to say about the box. So let's get this guy open. And here we have Perceptor out of the packaging. So you're probably wondering, do you have the original Perceptor? And that is, well, not the G1 Perceptor, the first iteration of this. And the answer is no, we don't. Had it been, oh, the cat has returned. Had it been this version to start with, we would have gotten it because of the cassettes. I feel like this should have been the original Studio Series version rather than this repack. Seems like we've got a little bit of a scuff. Yeah, a little bit of scuffed paint on R1. This is just brand new out the box, so it was already like that. I think I like this one more. I think the other one we weren't that bothered about because, you know, we weren't bothered about Perceptor, but when this one came out with the cassettes, you know, Nathan likes his cassettes, so because he likes his small animals, he likes things like that. So, and I know that with Soundwave coming out probably next year, and he's probably going to come with Laserbeak and Ravage, and we already have Rumble and Frenzy, and so having Rambat, and we've also got Steeljaw already, and we've got a version of Ejects in Rewind, which we'll show later on when we do the comparisons. So to be honest, I like this. I think this should have been the first time around rather than the second time. I think it's a bit meh to re-release this guy in my opinion, better colours, more suited colours, to the more accurate, I can't say that word, colours. But then to include these two as like exclusives, kind of, I would be miffed if I'd bought the original and then just a couple of years, because I remember he was shelf warming for ages at Smith's, over here in the UK. Him and Coronation Starscream were big shelf warmers, and now it seems like we're getting new versions. Well, we've got a new version of. I know it's just only a very slight retool, but still, I think it's iffy ground. Anyway, the figure himself, again, one of the reasons why I like this one is because I think this one does look really cool. I mean, I said get on to the cassettes very, very soon. The cat is eyeing them up. Love the head sculpt. This guy just looks like he's jumped out of the cartoon, and that's what I love about him. Nice little bits of detail on his legs and on his arms, a bit of sculpted detail. You know, I said I don't have the original to compare him with, but I kind of like this one. For what it is, just on his own, he's cool. You know, not the most interesting character, but, you know, nice enough. Of course, then we've got the cassettes, which I will transform and show them in the next part. And of course, then we've got, which you can sort of see right back. We have oh, what was his name in? What was the star thingy one? Night Strike. That's the one. We've got the Night Strike recolor of that one, and we liked that one. So, yeah, Ratbat was definitely a must-have. So yeah, that's the figure himself. He comes with just a plain plastic red gun. You know, nothing too. Oh, the cat has seen something outside the window. He's very interested. And then, of course, Ratbat, and I believe this is Ratbats, and Ramhorn come with weapons, come with accessories, but these can also be weapons for Perceptor. Nice sort of like, not gold, because I know gold plastic's a bit of a trouble, but a goldish colour. I believe they're going to be solid gold like that, aren't they? Like missiles on his on the side of him. Not too sure about how this works with Ratbat, but we will look at that very, very soon. Overall, first impressions, I like the guy, I like the character, I like the sculpt. Well, I don't like the character, I'm not that fussed about the character. I like the sculpt, and I think I like the colours, and yeah, he's interesting enough. So let's get on to a articulation. Articulation next. So I'm going to do everything with Perceptor first, and then I will cover Ramhorn and Ratbat in the same video, just a bit further on. I will put timestamps in for everything, so if you want to skip to certain parts, please feel free to do so. So for articulation, we have a ball jointed head. He can look down a little bit. He can not look up. He can look straight and he can look down, but he can't look up very well. Of course, he's got the full 360. This can be articulated because I imagine it's for transformation, but it generally sits on his shoulder. This shoulder goes all the way out. Yep, both shoulders go all the way out and can go all the way around. He has a swivel just above the elbow as well as an elbow joint. There is no wrist articulation. Obviously, his torso can do a full 360. His leg can kick forward. I'd say that's even higher than 90 degrees. Fair enough. How far can it kick backwards? And again, more than 90 degrees. That's good. Oh, here we go. How far? And he can indeed go a full 90 degrees. Should we try and do the crane, the Karate Kid pose? Oh. I wonder if we do it the other way, and then he's got like the thing to counterbalance. Kinda does it. Not very well. You couldn't keep in that pose. He has a swivel here in the thigh. Yeah, that's a thing. His knee joint. He does have a knee joint, and then just above his knee, he has. That is. Looks like he's been in a car crash. Check that out, Nathan. Look at that. He has a swivel where he has like a bend above the knee that goes outwards. And of course, we have a nice little ankle tilt as well. Okay, let's move on to a size comparison. I am going to keep this one short and sweet. Here he is with Studio Series 86 Prime. Of course, in the cartoon, Optimus Prime was always bigger. So yeah, I think that scales very, very well. And of course, moving Prime over to one side for a minute. Let's bring in Blaster. So yeah, I think he is a little bit bigger, isn't he? I don't know, I'm not too sure. Is he the right way? Have I got him? Yeah, I've got him the right way. I haven't put any deliberate mistransformations in this one, by the way. So in terms of the competition, that's more of a Throwback Thursday thing. I try not to do any deliberate ones. So if you see any mistransformations, again, please mention them but they're unintentional. They're completely unintentional. Yeah, I think that's a pretty nice little size comparison. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think there was much of a difference, was there? When he's sort of like in the film where he's like, do you think you got through to Prime? It's again, there we go, just for a size comparison. Let's move on to transformation. Okay, so janky transformation is back. I have my instructions right here, and I might have to pause just to sort of get my head around some of them because I really struggle with these sort of instructions. 9 times out of 10, I have to go and watch someone else's video if someone else has already done the review. If not, I struggle even more. So, okay, so step 1, let's turn him around. And then we pull this section out here. We then pull his head in and close that section. That is steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 4, I think we fold in his hands. There we go. So there we go. We're now up to step 5, which we turn him back around. We put his arms up in the air, wave them around like he just doesn't care. We open them up. Yeah, and then we click them. There should be a click, it says. Leave Ratbat alone. Yes, see, he knows. Right, now it says there's a click, but I don't know if there's going to be a click. There we go. Yeah, you can sort of, so it, I think that one's gone in. No. Yeah, that one has gone in. It just didn't move the same way as the other one. So there is a slight, not necessarily a click, but you feel it going into. Okay. We now move this. Is it over? So you fold it out so it's like that, and then we put it like that. No, wait. So it was. So we fold it out, and then it's sort of like. I think that. No, that doesn't make any sense. Right. See, this is what I mean about it being very, very janky. I apologise for the jankiness. So, we've clicked it in. That is indeed what we have here. We have confirmed. And then it says we sort of fold this on its side. And it is hanging off. So we have that. Okay. We have that like this. And then we're moving. Right, okay. So now we're moving this peg and that. So we're moving this out and in to that. Right, that makes sense. Right, okay. So now we are on for step 10, which is bringing these up. I've actually managed to do this in one take so far. It's one of those where sometimes transformations are really intuitive. And one of the reasons why I sort of stopped doing I'm not really doing many transformations on camera is not because I don't enjoy the transformation. I just don't enjoy doing it like this, like from far away. Like some transformations, like I like transforming Optimus Prime, 86 Optimus Prime. I just really struggle doing it on a camera at a distance, and that's why they're quite janky and stuff like that. Anyway, enough. Step 11. We are putting his legs all the way out. Like so. He's doing the splits, and we turn this leg so it faces up. Yeah, there we have. So we have those tracks there. Do the same with that one, and then we. You see, yeah. So where that joint was before, just above the knee, is used so he can. You saw that, didn't you, guys? This is what I've got to put up with. This is another thing. Putting up with cats. Well, with a cat. So there we go. There is. Oh, doesn't feel that right. And then that is step 14 and 15. Step 16. We pull out his chest piece. Another downfall, another reason why I don't like transforming Transformers on video is because I don't have any nails, so it can sometimes be a bit difficult to do that. And then we do the microscope or that part like that, and that is Perceptor in his microscope mode. Pretty cool. And I think I just need to readjust him a little bit because it seems like his groin is unbalancing him. Okay. Yeah. He doesn't, yeah. Yeah, And now he's just, they don't seem that straight. Oh, this is another reason I don't like, because it doesn't look straight. Why? Why doesn't it look straight? Right, he is, right. You saw me transform him, guys, you know. Anyway, yeah, that, so I just need to sort of straighten him up a little bit, but then his legs just don't look right. Ugh! See? That looks better. What are you doing? Right. So there we go. Perceptor in microscope mode. So let's have a look at his alt mode. I know there's not much to it really. It's a microscope. I mean, he's got his little treads here. That's pretty cool, I suppose. I know on the other version that they had a tank mode. This version can't do it. I can't remember the details, but I'm sure all the reviews have covered that in terms of like comparison. But I remember him looking like this on the cartoon in both the series and in that one scene in the movie where he's checking on Optimus Prime because his wounds are fatal. And there you go. You can sort of recreate that. Yeah, I like that little ratchet, that little clicking. The cat is making my reviews, but I know you guys love the cat, and it gives me a reason to hashtag cats in it and get me more views because, you know, yeah, he likes to be up here when I'm doing this. He doesn't live up on here permanently. He only comes up here when he's only started to come up here now recently since I started doing reviews. Normally there's the Arc and what else? Oh, and Omega Supreme stood here, but I had to clear them out so I can do these reviews. Anyway, back to the microscope itself. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, he does it at the beginning as well, doesn't he? At the start of the Battle for Autobot City, he's in this mode and he's checking out how many Decepticons there are, and he tells Ultra Magnus that there is a deficient. I can't. Oh, what's his line? Tactical deficiency, and then Springer goes, "In other words, we're outnumbered." Yeah. So yeah, it's not much you can really say about it, is it? It's a microscope. It's nice, but this will not be what he'll be displayed in. He will be displayed, like nearly all of our Transformers, in bot mode. So that is Perceptor. Let's move on to Ramhorn and Ratbat. So here we have both Ramhorn and Ratbat. Just for a very quick comparison, here is Night Strike, which is the same mold, just a recolor of Ratbat, or yeah, recolor Ratbat. And just so you can see, yeah, standard size, no different there whatsoever. And of course, naturally, they fit into Perceptor's chest. This is actually quite a tight fit, but yeah, there we go, and can easily slide out. Same for Ratbat. Let's put him in. Which way would we put him? We'd put him in that way, wouldn't we, really? We're thinking about it. And does he slide in yet? Yeah, he does. He slides in there perfectly. Okay, so in terms of transformation for Ratbat, you simply, much like Night Strike, fold out his wings, fold out his little feet, and we have the basic form of Ratbat. We can use his wings to steady him a little bit there. So let's have a quick look at the instructions as well for the weapons. And this goes on his back. So it's like, yes. So it has like a little booster back. So they can come off and be like guns, I take it. But then they are, sorry, I did that completely out of shot there. So you can take them off, and I suppose they can be some sort of gun. Have them off like this. Oh, turn him around, and is that a peg? A peg on there, it says. So it looks like he has a peg here. There we go. So that folds out there, and then this can fold on its back. That probably gives him a bit more stability as well. There we go. That is pretty cool. Right, Ramhorn. So I'm just going to let the cat out because he wants to go out now. So we're going to have less interruptions now. Way. Right, okay. So let's just move Ratbat out of the way. So we're having him this way, and we fold out this leg like so, or maybe more like that, sorry, and pull it out this one, and then we have another leg here and another leg here. We then pull this whole section out. You should try if you have unless you have, there we go. So that makes it a little bit easier. You can push out this section here like so, and then he has his little horns there. Okay, and then as I suspected, you just fold him down. I don't think I did any of that in shot, did I? Oh my days. Apologies for again. Right, let me just quickly redo that again, just in case I didn't. I'm not going to bother checking. There we go, like this. You can push your thumb or your finger like so to help give you a bit of leverage here on the head. Again, pull out the horns and fold him like so. And if you think he looks a little bit generic there, where's his weapon gone? Where did the cat put the weapon? He's no, sorry, I tell a lie. He didn't do that at all. And it is there. So this is, we take, so like this, and we go that way. No. So you put this section in there like that. So you have the peg. So again, it just sort of fills out that section there, and then flip them around. Do that one clicked, but this one didn't. So then there is like this little, you see that slot there? Yeah, you have that there, and it's just about lining that up, and then we have Ramhorn and Ratbat. Pretty simple. Does his mouth open? No, it doesn't. It's molded that. It looks like it should. Yeah, I mean, I personally think the cassettes should have been like a complete set. Maybe like one with blaster, one with shot with sound wave, and then the rest should have been in a pack on their own. Because like as we know with Steeljaw, he definitely didn't justify that. I mean, he's all right. He's pretty neat. You just want all the cassettes though. I don't know what it is. I think it's it's FOMO, you know. I just feel like having all the cassettes is a nice little thing. I like this mode. I like the Rat, but I know in terms of transformation it's meh, and when it's in cassette mode it looks pretty shocking. But I liked this one. I like the Night Strike, and I like this one. I think this is probably one of my favourite ones. I just love the little face. It's he's a little cutie. Look at him, he's a little cutie. It does, even though he is like an evil little bat, it is quite cute. Let's move on to, I'm not going to bother with articulation because there's practically none. Let's move on to size comparison. Okay, so here they are with the other cassettes that we have from this line. I believe, I can't remember if this is eject or rewind. I know that I think there's talk about non-transparent versions coming. I think with the Studio Series Blaster, because I think this one came with the Kingdom Blaster. With the Studio Series, they re-released one of them, and he wasn't in clear plastic. And then with Sound Blaster, they released the other one in like the smoky grey plastic. Yeah, I think if we do find some sort of way of getting re-releases of them, again, I hope it's a pack rather than, you know, another character that we, you know, rather than a character we've already been re-released or that we've already got. Steeljaw the Goat, obviously the best figure ever. With Ramhorn is a little bit wider, and of course we have Frenzy and Rumble. I've always known Rumble as being purple because I'm from the cartoon, but I know that Rumble is meant to be Frenzy and Frenzy is meant to be Rumble. I'm not getting that debate in this one. This is Rumble because in the movie he is Rumble. That is my stance on it. Any other continuity, I don't care. I don't have that figure. In this figure is from the film, and in the film he is Rumble. That is as far as my stance on the whole thing goes, and this guy's obviously Frenzy. But yeah, in terms of size comparisons, obviously they are a bit shorter, but you know, you could argue that they're much wider, and of course they're all those different shapes and sizes anyway, aren't they, the cassettes? So that's really it. So, final thoughts. A nice set, but this should have been what the first one was. Or, if they did re-release him, not with these two. I think they should have been in like a little pack of other cassettes. If you have the original Perceptor, I find it very hard to recommend, you know, anyone. I know, you know, obviously if you're going to spend it, that's fine. If you're happy to spend it, that's fine. That's completely different. If you're on the fence of it and you have the original, then I would say I think you can happily skip this one unless you really want the cassettes, which that's the thing. You know, that is the killer on this one. That's the reason why we bought it, because we wanted the cassettes. If we already had this figure, I don't know if I would have bought it. I would have bought this set. It is also really hard to get hold of in the UK. Hasbro Pulse had it in for like a couple of hours and it sold out. And then I believe with all of the independent retailers, when it came up on their system, it came across as if it was just going to be a repack of the original, which, as I said before, shelf warmed. As far as I'm aware, it was, you know, it didn't move until it had a deep discount. So I can understand why, you know, independent retailers were like, well, why would we want to buy more stock of that? And then it turns out it was this pack, which doesn't seem to be readily available. I had to import mine from TF Figures, I believe, in the Netherlands, which was, you know, brilliant. I had to pay about £8 or £9 more than what I would have had this been released in retail, which stings and doesn't sting. I was quite happy that I didn't get stung on import tax, so that was nice. And delivery was fantastic. You know, I can't fault them for anything like that, but that was obviously a different cost. All in all, I think I paid €53, which I think comes to like £48. And if he was in retail, he would have been about 45. I think he was available for, I think In-Demand Toys got a very, very small amount of them, and he was about 45 quid. So I've paid about £3-4 more, maybe a little bit more. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. I think I worked out, I think the most, including delivery, was like £8. £8 more, you know, for what's going to be a hard to get figure here in the UK. Don't know what the story is about in the US. In-Demand Toys suspect he might be released by Smiths, but as of today, he's not even showing up on their website as coming in, so I don't know. If you have the original, I think you'd be more, and you're happy with it and you like him, I wouldn't bother upgrading. I don't think the price is worth it. Again, you know, it's one of those where I think these two shouldn't have been repackaged with him. And if they just re-released, I can understand it, because if they just re-released him, he probably wouldn't have moved. You know, he's just a slight repaint and a slight retool. And the first version was more than good enough. I said, for some reason, it just didn't appeal to me. But I think it's because of these two guys. I suppose that's what they're after, innit? Oh, so you don't want Perceptor, but how about Perceptor with 2 cassettes? Yes, I do want that. And a higher price tag. Boo. And harder to get hold of now. Boo. So yeah, naughty Hasbro for that. Although I think Takara are doing their dramatic thing re-release, so he might get another. You might be able to get hold of him a bit easier with that. Dramatic, what are they called now? Dramatic scenes? Because I know Thundercracker is. Thundercracker came with Reflector. Skywarp is coming with the Insecticons. I would be tempted to get that if it wasn't for the fact that Skywarp is going to be re-released very, very soon. I believe again next year with the same mold as the new Thundercracker. So had that not been coming, had they said, oh, the Thundercracker and Skywarp is just going to be a re-release of the Earthrise ones, I probably would have gone for the Dramatic Capture. Is that what it's called? Dramatic Capture? I think it is. I probably would have gone for both the Thundercracker and the Skywarp versions of them, had it not been for the fact that they were going to re-release those. Anyway, again, final thoughts. If you don't have this figure and you want the 2 cassettes and you like the Perceptor, then yeah, if you can get hold of him, good hunting. Hope you get out there. If you've got the original, I don't think you really need to bother unless you really, really, really want the cassettes. Overall, though, the figure itself, I can't complain. Nice enough. I just love his little cute little face. I love Ratbat's cute little face. Ramhorn, meh. Had we paid £12 for him like we did, oh no, actually £10, we paid £10 for Steeljaw, I'd be fuming. I'd be absolutely fuming. I suppose technically I have paid £10 because it's like 20 quid more than, because this guy was 25, I've paid 40 odd. Yeah, I'm not thinking about it like that. I'm not thinking about it like that. No. Oh, buyer's remorse. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I am now aiming to try and be at 300 subscribers by the end of the year. Nathan still isn't really up for doing these videos. I've not asked him recently. However, I'm going to, he's right behind me now, so I'm going to mention this now while he's here. We will be doing a, he won't need to be in the video for that one, but we will do a collection update video round about December. And then he will have to have his input on the top 10 figures that he's bought this year. He's nodding his head, so he will take part in that one. Nathan, do you want to give us a quick shout out on your thoughts of Perceptor? Do you like the look of this figure? Do you like the look of the cassettes? Come have a quick look. Come on. He's back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's back.
Yeah, he does come with the 2 cassettes. That was one of the main reasons I bought him.
Because you do like your cassettes, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you think of the Ratbat? Like, because you liked Night Strike, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which colour do you prefer, Night Strike or Ratbat? He has got a slightly different face, actually. Let's get that. Yeah, they do have slightly different faces.
I feel like Night Strike.
You like Night Strike more, but Ratbat's pretty cool. Ramhorn?
Again, pretty cool. Typical cassette. Rhino.
Do you think he's I think he looks better than Steeljaw?
I mean, he's definitely a bit bigger than Steeljaw.
A bit wider, isn't he? Yeah. And Perceptor himself?
Good. I mean, it's not like the original story where it actually was functioning microscope.
Yeah, the G1. We were talking about his to his friend about that, and it was like it was an actual little microscope as well, and his friend was like, "That is wild. Why is that not a thing now?" Yes, I suppose it's because of the cost, but yeah, it would be nice if he was an actual little microscope. But yeah, the mold itself. Anyway, again, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Bye.